How has Bryson DeChambeau gained so much speed and distance and yet played some great golf?
Yes, today we're going to discuss the facts and head over to some leading experts to share with their thoughts on how he's gained so much speed. And wait till the end because me and Piers are going to attempt to swing it like Bryson too.
I'm not sure about that, but look, hi, we are coaches Piers and Andy from Meandmygolf, and if you want to hit bombs like Bryson DeChambeau, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell as well. So look, let's get into this straight away by looking at his golf swing. So we're just going to give you our opinions, obviously, on this. So when you look at this golf swing, this is a cool video that PGA Tour did on their Instagram channel. You've got a 2016 Bryson DeChambeau and a 2020. The main thing that stands out to me is the guy on the right must have hit the guy on the left because he is almost double the size. It's amazing how much weight he has actually put on. And Andy, but we want to go through some of the facts on how he's done this. So how has he done this?
Well, look, he's obviously on a speed mission. He really wants to gain as much speed and distance as possible because he knows the advantages of getting the golf ball down the course a long way. But let's look at what he's actually done. So since he started this mission, he's gained 40 pounds in weight. Now, 40 pounds of weight is so much weight to put on in a short space of time. Now, obviously his training is matching this as well. He's in the gym, he's probably lifting weights, but he's also doing this over speed training where he's training just swinging the golf club as fast as physically possible.
I got to get to that 205. Come on. You guys need to push me. Need to push me. Oh, that was really good. Please be 205. Oh, it's only 201. Gosh dang it.
With no real regard for where the ball's going to go. So he's really just developing that speed to a completely new level that he's not had before. Now, to give you some context to the gain that he's made in the speed, last year his average on tour was 175 miles per hour ball speed. Now, since he's come out this year, he's been over 195 on the golf course, which is incredible there in terms of speed, and that's going to equate to obviously the distance. Now, he's also using a 5.5 degree lofted driver. This is similar to what the world long drivers do. And obviously his diet, to get the size that he's having, he's eating a lot of food and having between 6 and 7 protein shakes a day. You would not want to get stuck in an elevator with him at that moment.
There's a lot of gas in that boy.
There certainly is. But there's so much things that he's done there that's enabled him to do it. But also I've got a quote here that when he got asked about it, he said, you have to push the limits. You have to do these crazy motions to see how high you can get it. You can always normalize back down, but when you push the limits, you'll be normalizing back down to new higher levels than before. So he's pushing the boundaries to what's possible here, and it's showing in his results.
It sure is, and that's the scary thing. He's actually put on so much weight and so much speed, and yet his performances have been pretty good. You know, his last 4 starts since the lockdown, he's had a 3rd, an 8th, a 6th, then he's obviously just won at the Rocket Mortgage as well. So I think him and his coach Mike Shy have used the unique lockdown period that we've had where there's no tournament golf at all going on to go, come on, this is our opportunity to do this. And it's amazing. It's obviously been very carefully planned. But I think a lot of people, Andy, would say that they don't particularly like this because change, a lot of people don't like change. I mean, I love it. Hit the ball a long way, I think is very important. What do you think about it?
I think it's good. I think there's certain times in golf that sort of change. It's a defining moment. And I certainly think this is going to be a defining moment in golf where you've got some long hitters around, but he's took it to a whole new level. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how the younger guys view golf now and coming up. Are they going to train different? Are they going to look at it as a completely different sport? But I'm really interested to see what the more experienced guys do. Are they going to think, well, it's possible now? He's going to change the beliefs of what people think are possible. People thought maybe in the past that you can't swing it at 200 miles an hour and be consistent. But he's proving all these people wrong because he showed now in his performance that you can do it. How sustainable it is and how good it is on the body, we will see. But certainly it's interesting to see what's going to happen moving forward. I'm certainly interested with the more experienced guys.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So look, I mean, I love it, he loves it. What do you think? Please post down below. What are your thoughts on whether Bryson DeChambeau, what he's doing, is good or bad for the game?
And before we head over to our friends at TPI, there's a few things that he's done different in his golf swing, but we're just going to take a look at this one main thing that we notice. Now, if you take a look at this here, you will notice that his speed, Piers, is obviously faster. It's obviously faster at impact. But look at the time it actually takes him to swing the golf club now. It takes him a lot less time to swing the golf club, to the point where if you look at the two comparisons here, he's almost at impact at the same time that the older swing reaches the top of the backswing. So he's increased his swing, the swing speed at impact, But what he's done, similar to the world long drivers, he gets the golf club moving much faster in the backswing. He's really getting an aggressive shift on the way back and getting that golf club moving so much faster, which has enabled him to create so much speed as well. Again, very similar to the world long drivers, but he's consistent with it.
Yeah, he's still managing to do that. So we're going to head over to Dave Phillips now from TPI. You've seen him in previous videos that we've done before, but Dave is one of the best golf coaches in the world, and him and Greg Rose are definitely the leading authority when it comes to golfers with speed and distance in their game. So it's time to head over to Dave.
Hey Andy and Piers, Dave Phillips here. Thanks for including me on this little discussion about Bryson DeChambeau. So I'm going to give you my take on Bryson. Now, I don't know Bryson. I've watched what's going on. I've listened to a lot of people around him, and I can only imagine all the different things that he's doing. But here's a couple things that I think are really important. We know that he's put on all this weight. We know that he's gained all this speed. And probably what's most important is how did he actually do it in such a short amount of time? The other big thing that's really fascinating is his ability to take it to the golf course. So remember, he's only been doing this for 6 to 8 weeks. So the fact that he had that shutdown due to the world that we're in today, and now he's put on all this weight and speed, and his ability to take to the golf course tells me that he's probably training his brain as well, which is a very important aspect that a lot of us don't do. We train our physical body, we train our technique, but are you training your brain? And I know that he works on that, and that's a big component to enabling him to do what he's doing. But let's dive a little bit deeper. You know, nowadays he's hitting these drives a long way, 350 yards. In fact, on most driving ranges, he's hitting it out of the end of the range. Now remember those two words, end of range, because that's really what I want to talk about. What Bryson does is he eliminates variables. And I think that's very important to understand why his swing looks a little bit unusual. So let's talk about some of the things. In a normal golf swing, when we set up, we usually grip the club and we have some kind of angle between the club shaft and the lead arm. And then on the backswing, we tend to set or hinge our wrists. Well, if we look at Bryson, he doesn't do that. What he does is he actually sets up with no wrist hinge at address. He actually supinates his lead arm to end range. So by supinating my lead arm to end range and putting myself in this type of a position, there's nowhere else for this to go. So during the swing, he can actually maintain the squareness of that face a long time. And that's what's pretty amazing, is at the speed he's swinging, he's actually hitting it straight because there's very little face rotation. So whenever we add angles and we have a lot of pronation and supination in our lead arm or during the golf swing, then that's going to change the face, which brings in another variable. He's eliminated that. So again, his setup position, long arms, supinates his arms out wide like this, and then really keeps it on one consistent plane. And he's very good at doing it. Again, eliminating a variable. The other thing you'll notice is he has jumbo grips. Now this isn't an actual grip, but I've put it on a club so that you can see. And whenever I put a large grip on, it takes the hands out of the equation. So you can see a lot of players do this on putting today. There's a lot of fat grips. The reason those came about was they take away wrists and they actually keep everything more together. Well, he's done that on his actual clubs. He's also eliminated another variable in that all his irons are the same length as a 7-iron. So again, he keeps eliminating variables that could cause dispersion or cause him to be inconsistent. He even mentions that he doesn't want to be a field player. He wants to eliminate variables so that the end range is as far as he can actually go. That way, there's nothing going on. There's no face rotation. He keeps the club on a very consistent arc and plane, and he does it now at massive speed. So there's a couple of other things. The other thing is, when you have a fat grip like this, you can actually apply more force to the club. So when we talk about torque and force in the downswing, if I've got a fatter grip, something bigger to push against, then theoretically I can apply more force than something that's much thinner, because when I apply force to this, I don't have as much surface area, so I can't apply as much force. So there's that. There's a lot going on here in Bryson and why he's different than everybody else. perhaps the biggest thing is some of the swing changes he's made. So if you notice his golf swing now, where he used to be a little bit more on his lead side on the top of his backswing, now he's definitely flexing and lifting this lead heel off the ground. So he lifts the lead heel, which gives him a big hip turn, keeps that club nice and wide, and loads beautifully into his trail leg. And then he shifts aggressively by planting that foot down back into the lead leg and rotates right through the finish. He's not as open as most players, even in his hips and in his torso, but he doesn't have to be. He's got way more mass. So whenever you have a lot of mass, you don't have to move that weight quite as fast as somebody like a Rory McIlroy, who spins his hips a lot or has to clear very fast because he doesn't have body mass. So again, there's lots of physics involved with Bryson's golf swing. There's lots of cool stuff going on behind the scenes, and I absolutely love it. I love looking at players that break the mold. It changes the way we think about this game, and as an instructor, it makes you work harder because we're all trying to understand what he's doing so that hopefully we can bring it to you at home. So that's my take on Bryson DeChambeau. Miss you guys. Hopefully this helps you guys out. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Dave. Really great insight there on what Bryson is doing. What he is doing is incredible, really. So it's going to be interesting to see where it goes. Okay, now it's time for the fun stuff. We're going to attempt. We've got the launch monitor here to have a look and see if we can create some speed. Attempt to swing it somewhat like Bryson. Piers, so what are you doing? You got the protein drink.
It's my 8th one today. It's only 11:30.
Okay, right.
I'm gonna be sick after drinking this.
So let's just see. Let's have a go at swinging like Bryson. Yeah.
Okay.
So speed on the way back. Left foot coming up, and then swinging through on the way through, letting that left foot come as well. Whew.
Just so you're clear, that we know that doesn't make
I wouldn't stand
any
there,
difference
Piers.
at all. It actually is trying to be funny.
Okay.
Speed. We're gonna have one go. Well, let's see what we do.
Right. I feel like I need some music like Bryson. I feel like I need to continually move around. Right, here we go. Speed then. Let's see if we can get it. Whoa,
It's actually a good hit.
lost my balance, absolutely ripped it.
117.9 club speed, 173 ball speed. You don't need to hit any more, do you? That
No,
was
that's
really
it.
good, actually.
That's it, that's not too bad. I was at the middle, so I'm happy with that.
It's only gone 290, but that's because of this into a howling wind.
That was Bryson's average last year, by the way. But I'm not as warm, I'm not warmed up.
I reckon, do you know what? Comment down below if you want us, I know we're asking you to comment, but comment down below if you want us to have a go, maybe with some sort of overspeed training and seeing if we can actually...
Do you want to have a
see
few
what we
more
can do.
warm-ups?
That is my warm-up. Actually, my warm-up isn't that. There's a few marks on the ground here where someone topped them. I'm going to tee this, probably the highest I've ever teed a golf ball and the most unsafe. Can't tee it that high, can you?
I think what you need to do is just take your time.
I'm
Take
gonna
your time
take
a
my
little
time.
more, Piers.
I'm taking my time. It's all part of the anticipation.
You've lost all the speed now.
You're right there.
You got to keep moving. Do you want me to come and slap you just to get you highly
Social
motivated?
distancing, come on. Otherwise, I'd say yes, come on.
Come on then, let's give him some
Right,
speed
fast.
here. Fast, come on. I'm going to get,
Fast.
let me get out of the way here.
And I'm going to go for the left leg on the way down.
Come on
as
then,
well.
fast, go. Oh, not bad.
It was all right. It
bad.
wasn't a very good shot, was it? 116.1.
116.1.
You know, the best thing about that was ball speed was 162. I've kind of hit it about here.
And do you know what? That's obviously just having a bit of fun there, but that's a really important thing to think about. We're swinging it as hard as we can. Bryson's doing that as well, but he's finding the middle. He's finding the middle of that club face and getting the sweet spot, which is really, it's incredible when you think about it.
I think in what can you learn from this? I think if you were to go away and say, how can I get the most ball speed possible? That's your first point of call. Then if you can up the club head speed and maintain the centered strike and the ball speed, you're going to be onto a winner.
There we go. Guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Let us know again in the comments down below. Is this going to change the game? Are all the players going to be following? It's going to be interesting to see.
So if you want to see more videos that are going to help your game this year, then make sure you head over to meandmygolf.com. Loads of videos on distance, but loads of videos on your whole game, including some amazing coaching plans. All you need to do is click the link and we'll see you over there.